Hey everyone, I'm here with a simple layout. So I've used the cut apart sheet from the Just a Little Lovely paper pack from Pink Fresh, and I'm just using my ruler to rip along the lines and cut it. So instead of cutting it with the scissors, I'm using the ruler and it's giving that tared edge. So if you have your ruler and you rip the paper up towards you, then that ripped edge will be on that side that you're holding, if that's a little something that could help you. So I've pulled them all, and then I have a little play with positioning, and I decide that I'm going to go with these three little squares and my photo, which I've cut a little bit smaller to be a square but bigger than those square cards. I then add this memories little word and decide on the orientation of this paper. I did go through a few of the pattern papers to work out which background I wanted and settled on this little mixed media goodie that has a little bit of stuff on there but not overwhelming. So that way this little photo and card combination stand out. So I'm going to put just double-sided tape behind the cards and then some fun foam behind the photo. That way it stands out more and the cards are like in the background. So I just wanted to mention the video is quick because this is a quick 20-minute layout. I didn't take very long at all, so I thought I'd share it because sometimes we just like to create something really quick, and this would be a really good a scrap lift form where you could just have some tags even, or these little something square along the side there with the photo. So I'm going to work out exactly where I want it and which way I want the strokes of the mixed media to go. So we work out it's going to go here, and then they're going to go in the top half of the paper. Now I haven't put glue on the photo, so that way I can lay it where I want and then position the cards where I want. And I realized this one didn't have the ripped edges properly, so I'm just using my distress tool to make sure that is distressed on each edge, like ripped. And I work out where I want to put this memories. I do try it at the top and the bottom, and I leave it in the middle for a bit till I can work out exactly if that's where I want it. But spoiler alert, I do leave it under the cluster here of photo and cards. So just ruffling up those edges and making them stand out, lift off the paper so that we're not all just flat going on, or flat paper, because there's not going to be, even at this stage I knew that I wasn't going to need too much embellishing and whatnot going on. I did wonder if I could have an embellishment cluster down here with the word memories, but I couldn't work out how to ground it and that it would work. So, and I like it much better under the photo anyway. So going through the exclusive cut aparts and these other stickers from the office hour stickers, I believe. And remember, this was the perfect colour, and that tab, well, it was actually a label, but I used it like a tab. Going to commit to my label, that's not a label, my title, and these puffy words are just so beautiful. I think I've used them on every layout so far. I haven't even touched the gold thickers, which I love as well, and also those small puffy little letters as well. I want to use them, but I just keep reaching for these and finding the perfect opportunity. I do find these two words, one that says around here and one that says everyday, and I thought I could make my title Everyday Memories around here, but I didn't like the around here. It just sort of was jarring to the eye sitting there underneath the word. So I decided I might work up there, play around with this every day and leave it there for a bit. But ultimately I think the word memory stands out much better by itself without adding on. I found that floral cluster, which is going to start the one and only embellishment cluster on this layout, and that is like the most shocking thing ever. Don't know that I've only ever had one embellishment on one cluster on a layout for a long time, maybe if even ever. I'm not too sure on the statistics of that. So I decided on one of these inflated hearts, and I do spend a little bit of time going, no, this one will be better, no, stay with this one, oh look, this one could work, oh no, let's go back to that. And ultimately I decide on this one from pretty much from the start, and it's where it needs to be. I do pull out these wood veneer, which is one of the stash items that I put in my kit this month. And I layer that under the flowers, but I ultimately don't put it in because it just adds too much to that. I want a little bit of detail in the cluster, but I don't want it to overwhelm and take away from the photo and those little card elements that I've got going on. So I pull out a butterfly because of the wood veneer. I wanted another touch of wood veneer, but I just go with the one butterfly and none of the leaves. And it's okay. Sometimes it's nice to just have one little thing going on. We don't need 3 of everything every time. So I'm just going to go through the rest of my embellishments in the kit that we got. I pull out my enamel dots knowing that I'll want to add some of them. So I'm going to just work on sticking the cluster down. So I'm going to start with adding this flower. On it goes underneath with some fun foam because we're up. That photo is up on fun foam. And here's where I play with these 2 little wood veneer leaf clusters. But I didn't want one by itself. It wasn't working. And then the 2 together, they were opposite ones. And it just wasn't working for me. But that's okay because we don't need it in the end. So I'm going to glue down this love heart with love written on it. That's what I was meant to say, but I guess love heart is actually also what some people call it. And adding this butterfly, I did think I was going to have a little sprinkly things there, but I like it up there with more of a joint cluster there with that tab word as well. So down, we're going to put some enamel dots down this side and then up the top left of that cluster. And that's going to be some loveliness for the embellishments. There's so many lovely enamel dots and the colours and size of this pack is just beautiful. So it's so nice to get the matching enamel dots. Can't even pick up my paper. This paper is so thick from Pink Paisley, isn't it? Pink Fresh. The paper is so thick, so it's so sturdy, but I can't get my fingers underneath it. So I'm cutting down the word every day so I can layer it in there. It just needed something to fill in that little space that became trapped between the heart and that first remember this word. And I decided on putting a puffy flower there, and I'm like, why? That's just encroaching on the photo way too much. Instead, I'm going to lay this one and another one underneath this floral cluster just to add a bit more colour and some different texture. I do try a third one, but it ain't going to work. So we're going to try, and then we're going to put it straight back on. I was going to say straight back, but I think I put it in a different section of that plastic, but that's okay. We are not going to have an issue with that. I'm just going to add one single line of journaling just under the word memories. So that was just a sweet little touch. I really like that. And then I'm going to add one lined doodly border around the edges. I'm not going to fiddle around with it in terms of double lines or triple lines or anything like that and keeping them straight or whatever. I just do them as best as I can straight down the edge, turning the paper around to make it easier to access. And that's going to be the end of my layout today. So hopefully this inspires you to just get something quickly done and to enjoy your time and also get those memories into your album. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you next week. Bye.